Yo guys, what is going on everybody? Welcome back to the TalkMUFC channel. My name is Ben and today we got a pretty interesting video. Today I would like to discuss the players that I would keep and the players that I would sell at Manchester United in the January transfer window coming up very shortly. Now I did get this video idea from Sam over at United's People's TV. Great channel by the way, big shout out to Sam. But I'm going to be giving you my take on who I think we should be keeping, who I think we should be selling. I think this is going to be a pretty interesting one, because, football's not happening right now. It's a pretty big Premier League lockdown, I could say. So I thought this would be an interesting video to talk about, something to get excited about. So yeah, guys, make sure you guys smash a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are enjoying, and let's get into it. So, of course, we got to start off with the keepers and our main man, David De Gea. Of course, he is not going absolutely anywhere. David De Gea is definitely a keep for me. I don't even know what we should be discussing there. But moving on to Lee Grant. This one, I really don't know what he's doing at United at this moment. I personally think Lee Grant should definitely be sold. I don't know if it'll happen this January transfer window. There hasn't been much talk about Lee Grant and anything happening with him. But I really don't know what Lee Grant is really doing at United at this point. So Lee Grant for me is definitely a sell. So, of course, our next keeper is Tom Heaton. Now, the thing is about Tom Heaton is if Dean Henderson leaves, then Tom Heaton will be the keeper that needs to stay. So, what I think will happen is I think that Dean Henderson will leave on loan in the January transfer window. He does want to leave on loan, so I think we should keep Tom Heaton as, a backup for David De Gea. Because, of course, I would rather keep Henderson, but I think that Heaton will be the player that will stay, while Henderson, it does look like he does want to leave United, and he's linked with Ajax and all of that. But, of course, Dean Henderson, I would rather keep him, but if Dean Henderson leaves, I would keep Tom Heaton. So, Tom Heaton, I'm giving him a check mark here. And moving on, of course, Dean Henderson, personally, I do think he's going to leave. He really wants to leave. He does want to become the #1 keeper at Ajax or something, and he's good enough. The only reason he's not #1 at United is because we have such a great keeper like David De Gea. So, I think Dean Henderson is an X. So, yeah, those are the keepers, the ones that I would keep and the ones that I would sell, the ones that I would go on loan and all of that. But moving on to the defenders. So, the defenders, it's an interesting one. This is really where we start to get into it, start to get into the debates. So, right off the bat, starting off with Victor Lindelof, definitely, a check mark. You gotta stay, you gotta keep him. Moving on to Eric Bailly. So, Eric Bailly, definitely a stay. Phil Jones is next. So Phil Jones definitely needs to leave. He hasn't been a big part of the Manchester United squad. And I really don't know what he's doing at United at this point. So Phil Jones, I think he should leave as well. Harry Maguire, whether you like it or not, he's our captain. He's gonna stay. So Harry Maguire is staying. Moving on to Raphael Varane, a legendary signing in the summer. He has had a couple hiccups with injuries and all of that, but definitely I keep. I think hopefully after this COVID lockdown goes by, hopefully it does, we can see Raphael Varane get back to it and really shine. So Raphael Varane, definitely a check mark and definitely a keep for me. Next up, we have Diego Dalot. So this is a player, at right back, I think should become the #1 right back ahead of Juan Basaka. I think he is legendary and very good and slowly shining. He's slowly getting up to the ranks and slowly becoming the #1 right back of Man United. So Diego Dalot, definitely a keep. Luke Shaw for me also a keep. Not much to discuss there. I think that Alex Telles should start over Luke Shaw. So Alex Telles is also a keep for me. However, Luke Shaw will always be there and should be a backup. But of course, next up we have Juan Basaka. So the thing about Juan Basaka, I don't think he should be starting, but he's definitely going to be a keep, and we shouldn't sell him. But I think that Diego Dalot should have the position over him, but still Juan Basaka should stay. Next up we have Brandon Williams. I really don't know exactly what he's doing and everything, but I would definitely sell Brandon Williams at the current moment. That's really what I would say. Next up, we have Axel Tunzebe. So the thing about him is I think he is on loan at the current moment, but I don't know, I would just keep him on loan or loan him out in the January transfer window. Definitely not a check mark for me, so more of a loan or a sell. But I would put Axel at loan. Next up is Teden Mengi. So the thing about Teden Mengi, I think he played against young boys. He played pretty well, he played pretty well. So, but I don't think he'll be getting that spot at United, as he won't be getting much game time just because we have better players. So honestly, I would definitely loan out Teden Mengi if, I was a manager of United. So yeah, those are my defenders, the ones that I would, loan out, keep, or sell. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you guys agree or disagree. I want to see what you guys are thinking, by the way. As always, you guys are absolute legends. But let's move on to the midfielders, which is where we really get into it. It's pretty interesting, the midfielders, So, of course, we got to start off with Paul Pogba. So, the thing about Paul Pogba is, this is the real debate we've had over the past couple of weeks. Should we keep Paul Pogba? He's not going to be starting until January. He has that injury. Or should we sell him? Now, for me, this is very, very clear. I think we should be selling Paul Pogba. Big X for Paul Pogba, because Paul Pogba combined with his agent, Mino Raiola, it's just one ego with another ego equals double ego, and we don't want double ego at United. We don't need that. We don't want that. So Paul Pogba, I definitely think he should be sold. And for him to continue his career somewhere else where he could, have a better career, because I don't think his career stands well at United, especially since Ralf Rangnick hasn't shown much interest in keeping Paul Pogba. So yeah, Paul Pogba is definitely a sell for me. Mata, moving on to Mata, definitely another sell for me. I don't know what exactly he is doing at United at this point. Definitely a sell for me. Jesse Lingard, another sell for me. Jesse Lingard needs to go somewhere else, maybe back to West Ham, and really, he's not going to shine at United, especially under Ralf Rangnick, and he is not giving us anything that we really need. So Jesse Lingard out. Jesse Lingard should be out, so I think we should sell Jesse Lingard. Now, quickly, I do want to pause this video and quickly say that, of course, I understand we're not going to be selling all these players in the January transfer window. I'm just saying which players we should be wanting to, sell, maybe in January, maybe in the summer transfer window after that. But yeah, so obviously I understand we're not going to be selling like 10 players in this January transfer window. Moving on to Andreas Pereira. Personally, I would say that I think we should keep him. I think he could be a pretty good backup at some point. But we obviously need to be keeping some players, because if we sell everybody, we're not going to have backups or squad. So I would keep Andreas Pereira. I think under Rangnick, he could potentially shine or, get better. So I would keep Andreas Pereira. Moving on to Ahmad. This one is interesting. So I think this player is a player that is likened to play at United. We saw him play at, against young boys, and I think Ralf Rangnick values Ahmad, and he will slowly introduce him into the first team and slowly sub him in at times. So I think that Ahmad should definitely be a keep, for me. Moving on to Fred. Whether you like Fred or not, I think Fred is a pretty good player and a solid squad midfielder. So Fred, definitely a keep. Definitely a check mark there. And moving on as well to Bruno Fernandes. Obviously a keep. I don't know if we should even discuss that. But that's definitely a keep. Now, Facundo Pellistri. The thing about Pellistri, look, I don't know much about Pellistri. Like, he's okay at times, but I don't know. I don't think we should be selling him, because I think he does have a possibility of improving and, getting to a point where he is at least a bench player that is subbed in at certain times in the game. But he's definitely not a starter. But, I think a loan could really benefit Facundo. So a loan for Facundo, that is what I'm going to give him. Now, moving on to Matic. This player is one that I would be selling. I would be selling Matic. I don't think he's been giving us any value. We had some hype about him playing in the midfield. We saw him playing at center back. Absolutely shitty play there. But Matic, I think we should cut Matic off and sell Matic in the January transfer window. That is what I'm going to say about that. Moving on to Donnie Von De Beck. Now, the thing is, this is another interesting one. Now, he's been saying that he wants to leave because he's not getting that playing time and all of that, but I would definitely be keeping Donnie Van De Beck. I think Ralf Rangnick admires Donnie Van De Beck. They've been training very, very closely together, and I think Donnie Van De Beck is definitely a keep for me. Moving on to James Garner. The thing about him is, look, I would be selling James Garner. That's what I'll tell you. I don't think he's been doing much. However, I don't think it's realistic. So, I would actually keep him. Because I think, look, I would want to sell him. Because I don't think he's been giving us anything. But I understand that we're not going to be able to sell him. Because we still need those subs. We still need those subs and bench players. So James Garner, realistically, is a keep. But I wouldn't want him to be playing, really. So I'm going to keep it as a keep. However, I would want it to be a sell. Moving on to Scott McTominay, whether you also like it or not, we're going to have to keep Scott McTominay. He's a solid player. I would want Donnie Van De Beck to slowly start replacing him. So Scott McTominay should be a keep for Man United. And then next up, we got Hannibal. So the thing about Hannibal is I loan him out. Loan him out. I think he's in loan in Flamengo. So definitely Hannibal should be at loan. So yeah, he needs some more experience, and then he can maybe go back to United and, show what he's got. So I wouldn't sell Hannibal, but I would put him on loan. So what are your thoughts about this, by the way? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. If you are enjoying the video, by the way, smash a like. It does really help out the channel. But moving on to our forwards. So this is also a pretty interesting one. So the forwards, of course, we got Cristiano Ronaldo. Nothing to discuss there. We keeping the guy. But moving on to Martial. Martial is a big X for me. I know people disagree with me on that one. They think Martial is an icon of the club, and he is. But he's just kind of fallen off, and he's not able to really perform anymore. So Anthony Martial is a sell for me. We can get some money for him, sign maybe another attacker, a forward, but definitely a sell Anthony Martial for me. Marcus Rashford, we're gonna be keeping him. We're gonna keep him. That's really it. Mason Greenwood, also gonna be keeping him. He's slowly getting there, slowly shining, and Mason Greenwood definitely a keep for me. And next up, we got Edinson Cavani. So the thing about Edinson Cavani, he's been linked with Barcelona. So look, I don't think that Edinson Cavani will be able to shine under Ralf Rangnick. So Edinson Cavani, I would sell him, get some money off him, sign maybe another player, or just put some more money in the budget to sign maybe Amadou Haidara or something like that. So maybe even Declan Rice or something like that. But yeah, Edinson Cavani would be a sell for me. Moving on to Jadon Sancho, our main man. We all knew it's going to happen. We all knew he's going to shine, and he is. So hopefully when football gets back, we see more of that brilliant football by Jadon Sancho. So Jadon Sancho, definitely a keep for me. Anthony Elanga is next up here. So the thing about him, I would definitely keep him. I think that Rangnick is slowly getting Elanga, to... I think he's going to be playing him, subbing him at some points. So I think Elanga, the future of his career is going to be pretty good at United. So I think we should definitely be keeping Elanga. And of course, moving on to Tahith Chong, loan him out. So loan him out, just keep him on loan. That's what I would do for Chong. But moving on to our last player, Short Tire. The thing about him, I don't think he's going to be making much of a difference in any coming months. So I would loan him out, give him some other opportunity, and just keep him, at loan for him to get better and, and improve. So because at Man United, he's not going to be getting much playing time. That's just the reality of that, guys. So that is my players we should be keeping, the players we should be selling. I hope you guys truly did enjoy this video, but that'll be it. Big shout out once again to Sam from United People's TV for giving me this video idea. Hopefully you guys all did enjoy, and if you did, smash a like. If we can smash 25 likes on this video, that would be absolutely insane. So smash a like. I will see you guys all in the next one, and of course, Manchester United forever.